Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the all-inclusive story time with Aladin at the amazing Rose Hill Community Centre. Hey! Promoting the best in health, well-being and vitality and community spirit. Your story today will be the monkeys and the hat seller. Once upon a time, there was an amazing hat seller. He sold hundreds and thousands and millions of hats. He was such a gifted person that he could make hats out of anything. All the hats that you could think of, he could create. He made birthday hats. He made ladies' hats for ascot. He also made Al Capone hats. But his favourite hat of them all was his amazing talking hat, who always spoke to the talking tie. He would occasionally say, "You hang about here, and I'll get on ahead with things." One day, this amazing hat seller would put on his favourite hat, his favourite tie, and he would go out and try and sell all his wonderful hats. Well, it was a very hot summer's day, and he was exhausted. He'd already sold 100 hats, and he had about 20 and more hats left in his bag. Well, he thought he'd find a nice little tree and relax. So he laid beside the tree and shut his eyes and went to sleep, as you do. And after 3 hours, he woke up. He looked around and saw, where are my hats? The only hat he had was his favourite talking hat. He looked to his left, he looked to his right, he looked down, he still couldn't find his hat. Then he looked up, and do you know what he saw? He saw monkeys on a tree with his hats on. Well, he was so infuriated, upset. He said, "Hey, I want my hat back," to the monkeys in the tree. And what they did, they pointed a finger, just like he had pointed it to them, and went, "Hee-hoo-hoo," which probably translated to, "I want my hats back," in monkey language. Well, he was really upset now. He started to stomp his feet. "I want my hats back." Well, the monkeys looked at him and stomped their feet. Hee-hoo-hoo. In monkey language translation, "I want my hats back." Well, he was getting a bit frustrated, but then he thought for a moment, the monkeys are copying me. So he says, "I've got an idea," to himself. And what he did, he got his hand on his hat, and he wiggled his hips, and the monkeys wiggled their hips and had their hand on the brim of the hats they were wearing. He raised his hat in the air toward the sky, and he threw his hat on the floor. Well, what do you think the monkeys did? They did the same thing. They took the hat up and threw it on the floor. Well, he got his hats back, he packed it in the bag, and then he went home, not forgetting his tie, to tell his lovely wife and his family how he fooled the monkeys and got his hat back. Well, as time went on, the famous hat seller passed down the business to a son of his, and also a daughter. And what happened was, as they grew up, They had a family business. So his daughter one day decides to sell some hats, just like her grandfather. And she goes out into the marketplace with her favourite hat and starts selling hats. Well, it was a long, long day and it was very hot. So she sees a tree and relaxes by the tree. Well, she falls asleep. And then when she wakes up, she notices all the hats are missing. Oh my gosh, where are my hats? She looks to the left, she looks to the right, she looks up, she looks down. She still can't find the hat. She looks up and down. However, on a tree in the distance, far, far away, she notices some monkeys with their hats on. So she runs down to the trees and says to the monkeys, I want my hat. They're ignoring her. But they're doing the same thing, pointing their fingers and saying, I want my hat. She stomps her feet, I want my hat. The monkeys stomp their feet, translating, I want my hat. Then she remembered a story, what her grandfather used to tell her. So, she gets her hand on her hat and throws it on the floor. But the monkeys don't throw the hat on the floor. She tries again. She picks her hat up and throws her hat on the floor. But the monkeys don't copy her. Can you guess why? Well, quite obvious. Monkeys have grandparents too. There is power in stories, and there is wisdom which can be passed on and conveyed. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hush puppies, thank you for listening to Story Time with Aladin. See you soon.